Hello neighbors, it's Brad here at eTrailer, and today we're taking a look at the Roadmaster Nighthawk Tow Bar on a 2023 Jeep Gladiator. When it comes to flat towing your Jeep Gladiator, there's going to be 5 main components that are going to be required to safely do that. The first one is going to be on the vehicle side, being the base plate. That's going to structurally mount to the frame of the vehicle and give you the mounting point for your tow bar as well as your other components. Your tow bar is going to be the connection point between that base plate and the hitch on the RV. And just like a trailer, you have your safety cables. That's going to keep everything together just in case things were to accidentally disconnect. Now you're also going to need a braking system. Today we have the Stay and Play Duo, which is a fixed system. Whether you have a portable or fixed, it doesn't matter. You're going to have a breakaway switch. And this is in case everything was to fail. It's the last line of defense. It'll pull this cable, and that's going to put the brakes on the vehicle, allowing it to come to a stop. That way it's not rolling down the road. We also have our diode wiring, which is going to transmit the light signals from our RV to the taillights on our Gladiator, giving us the running lights, turn signals, and brake lights. Now you may want to add a few other things into those components as well, and that would be a charge line, which is going to allow you to trickle charge the battery as you go down the road, and that's just going to tie into your 6-pole. Now we also picked up a stoplight switch on our Gladiator today, which is specific to the Gladiator. It's just a bracket that mounts a plunger on the brake pedal, and that's going to give us the indication that we're braking. Not all braking systems will require that, but if you are doing the Stay and Play Duo, you're going to want to pick that up. When it comes to tow bars, there's lots of different options out there, but there's 2 things that I always recommend people doing. Obviously get one that's going to be good for the weight capacity of the vehicle or exceed it. And this one does a fine job with the Gladiator, coming in at 8,000 pounds. And that way, if you ever upgrade or load up your Gladiator while towing down the road, you can always have that extra weight capacity there on the tow bar to be able to handle that. The other thing that I always recommend is a non-binding tow bar, and what that means is as you go down the road, these arms will lock in place. And that's what it's supposed to do, but the problem is when you get to a campsite, you need to find flat level ground normally to get these unlatched, otherwise they're going to be under a lot of tension. And that's not the case with non-binding. This will allow you to release those arms at the simple pull of a handle, which has some nice leverage and nice touch points to be able to get those arms to retract. This is one of the cleanest looking setups when it comes to flat towing, and the reason being is the cable management that the Nighthawk has is way better than most of the other tow bars out there on the market. And it does that by accomplishing it with an integrated umbilical here, and that's included, which is really nice. So if you're piecing together your flat tow setup, you can get this tow bar and it's going to have this already included and pre-installed, as well as a 6-pole, which is a really nice addition, and safety cables, which also use that same channeling. And what that equates to is easier storage, and when we fold this up I'll show you why, but also less cables. If you look at a lot of other flat tow setups, you have cables kind of going all over the place, and this does a really good job of keeping it nice and tidy. Now going along with just Roadmaster quality, you have a nice hammer tone finish here that looks really sharp. It's going to hold up long term, and the thing that really puts the night and Nighthawk is going to be the LED lights. So I'll kick on our turn signals and show you exactly how it looks. The integrated LED strips on each side of the tow bar are a really good reminder for vehicles that are maybe pacing alongside you at night that maybe forget that there's a vehicle behind that RV. Because your headlights aren't on the towed vehicle during nighttime tows, it's very possible if someone's pacing you, they may forget that that car is there, and these might be just enough to allow it to stand out, and that way they're not merging into you. So as I unhook this, you'll notice that these ends are specific to our Roadmaster base plate. And don't worry, if you have a different base plate, you can still get the Nighthawk. You're just going to want to order it with these specific ends to your base plate. So if you have a Blue Ox, a Demco, or eTrailer, get the Roadmaster with those ends and it'll work with that base plate. So as we unhook this, I'll show you how it stows up nice and tidy. Folds up super easy. You can just draw your arms back, slide them together, and then we'll have this large bolt head that goes to this spring-loaded latch. So as we raise this up, it'll snap into place, and then we can choose to stow it to one side or the other. So if you have a ladder, exhaust, or anything that you want to keep it off to the other side, you can choose which way you go. And while we have it in this configuration, you'll see this channeling that we have our safety cables and umbilical in. Normally you would have a safety cable that you really have to put in a bag or stow it somewhere. This stays all together, which is really nice. And speaking of that, you can get a tow bar cover, which is going to be a Roadmaster specific to this tow bar, and it's going to cover this up while going down the road. So if you plan on keeping this on the back of your RV, you might want to do that just to protect your tow bar and also keep all your components away from dragging on the ground. While this does come in at the premium price point of tow bars, you get a lot of bang for buck. Having the safety cables already included, as well as the umbilical and the 6-pole, means that that's less things that you have to pick up when building out your flat tow setup. And this is a tow bar you're going to buy once and cry once. Meaning, if you buy this, you're going to love it. You can take a look at the reviews. We see these quite often, and for good reason. Roadmaster does a fine job of making products, and this one is no different. The Roadmaster is one of my personal favorites, as well as some of the other installers here. And hopefully this helps decide if this is going to be the right tow bar for your Gladiator. And that was a look at the Roadmaster Nighthawk Tow Bar on a 2023 Jeep Gladiator.